Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the world's greatest film podcast, The Average Film Enjoyer. We are your average film enjoyers, Trey and Evan, and it's going to be a great episode today. It's our second to last Chris Nolan watch-through episode.
Feels like we just started it.
It truly does. Wait, are the Oscars on Monday?
I thought they were on the 10th. This is
Are they
Sunday.
on the 10th?
Yeah.
Because if they're... Yeah, they're on the 10th? Okay. Okay, yeah. We may do just a bonus episode next week for our Oscars episode.
Yeah.
Little midweek episode, maybe on Wednesday. But yeah, we're excited for our episode today. Today is our Time episode in the Chris Nolan filmography, where we will be discussing Inception and Interstellar. We're also going to be discussing the latest in movie news, including images released for not only Superman, but Tron Ares as well.
Hell yeah.
Which, God, dude. Oh, so good. And we will talk about some of the stuff we've been watching recently, which, I don't know.
I have a few. I have
a couple.
five.
Yeah.
I watched 2 movies this morning.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I get to talk about Casino Peak.
Ugh. So good, dude. I'm very excited to talk
awesome.
about that.
What else do I get to talk about?
Zone of Interest we'll talk about.
Zone of Interest. Did I already talk about... I don't think I talked about... Oh, no, I get to talk about the Halloween movies. Okay, I have a good amount. But yeah, it's going to be a good episode today. But first, before we get into even movie news, Evan, how are you doing? How's your week been?
I'm doing good. I made it to the weekend. It's been a busy week work-wise, so very excited. Started Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yesterday. It's peak. Very good so far. I watched the Final Fantasy VII movie. I've just been like in that mode. It's like snowing like crazy, and it's super cold outside, so just gonna be chilling this weekend. How about you?
It's been a week. I think I'm almost at 50 hours on Assassin's Creed. I've spent an ungodly amount of time playing that video game. It's a blast. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. What else? That's pretty much it. I've gotten Carl's Jr. twice this week, so that's been a massive W. I've gotten the same thing every time for the past 6 years. I get a double Western bacon cheeseburger with a large French fry and a large Coke. And then I don't eat anything for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I got my first credit card today.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's exciting. That's an adult thing.
Yeah.
Gonna be doing some adulting. So yeah, it's been a good week. Movie news. It's been a big week.
Yeah.
Oh crap, where'd it go?
Let's talk about the Naked Gun reboot starring our favorite person.
God, I'm so excited. It's gonna be peak. I'm so excited. You got Liam Neeson, who in my eyes can do no wrong.
He has some great comedic
He really does. If you go back and watch Ted, he has that cameo in Ted, and it's so funny.
Dude, have you seen the episode of Family Guy with Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
He's really funny, and I think he'll do a good job. I think he'll be able to access that goofiness.
Yeah.
While also being a low-key badass, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I love the Naked Gun, so.
Oh, I love the Naked Gun too. It's one of my favorite comedies ever.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen is just a god.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's weird because we don't really get comedies like this anymore, like Airplane and Naked Gun and just the absolute stupid comedy.
Yeah, where it's just joke.
And I'm hoping that they can keep it. Because the scene in the original Naked Gun, I'll be so sad if they take it out when he goes to the the docks to get
and with the money.
And him
oh,
and
it's so good.
The $20. It's so stupid, but just so freaking funny. It's one of my favorite scenes ever.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
when he did the press. When he did the press junket for I don't know what movie, but he brought along the fart machine. That clip is so good.
We should watch that soon. That scene when he's in the attic with the girl and he's like, "Wow, what a nice beaver you got there." He pulls out a stuffed beaver and it's like, "Did you bring protection?" And they got the full body condoms. Like, oh my god, it's so stupid but so funny.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious.
Do you like Airplane more?
I think I do. I love Airplane. I think it's excellent.
Both are peak.
But yeah, we got that. Liam Neeson, that's in the works. We got a new clip from Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, where Kong is riding Godzilla.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dude. It's like the second one down on Discussing Film. It looks sick. It looks like a hell yeah moment. I'm very excited. I'm getting increasingly more excited for this movie.
They played the trailer for it before. Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty peak. They played the trailer for it before Dune. It was like it was Furiosa and Godzilla Kong.
Yeah,
and that was it. And I was like, I mean,
yeah,
it's so weird.
Sick.
Have you seen Godzilla -1? No, I think we talked about this.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's so good. So I'm curious to see. They picked a bad year to release this movie.
Yeah.
Because Godzilla -1 is a genuine good movie.
Yeah, and these are crap movies that are just really fun to watch. Maybe we should watch that today, Evan. One of the Godzilla versus Kong. And we can watch Kong pop his dislocated shoulder back in on a skyscraper.
Will not be rewatching Godzilla 2014. I tried to watch it again and I turned it off. It's so boring.
That's crazy.
I hate that movie.
We also got the first trailer for part 1 of the new Strangers trilogy. Thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I am cautious because I love the idea of these movies, but I don't love the movies themselves.
Yeah.
I don't like Strangers Prey at Night. I think the characters are insanely stupid.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot, actually.
I just
some gnarly kills.
It had good kills, but the people are just so dumb, and that's something I hate in horror movies. I mean, we'll talk about it more with Halloween later, but yeah, we'll see. I'll watch it, but my expectations are pretty low. We got
Dune 2 opens with 12 million in domestic previews. That's just like pre-screenings and stuff. It's not even released. It's not released, or it's being released today. Yeah. That's literally just pre-screenings, and that's over 50% more than the first film.
It's crazy.
So massive W there.
Yeah, it's also skyrocketed on the Letterboxd top 250 to 21.
Not surprised.
It's peak. It's technically the second highest rated movie on Letterboxd. So I think as more people see it, it'll go up even more, which is crazy. And it's peak. I can't wait for you to watch it so we can just talk about it for like 2 hours straight.
What? Spaceman is now streaming on Netflix. Oh, yeah, check that out.
I was gonna watch it, and then I found out that Paul Dano's monster is a big freaking spider, and I was like, I can't do it.
Are you an arachnophobe?
Yeah, I can't do. Like when me and my girlfriend will watch Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, and I'll leave the room during the Forbidden Forest scene. I can't do spiders.
Oh man. We got Megamind released a sequel today. I don't know if it is a sequel or something.
It's a sequel, yeah.
I haven't read any reviews about it.
It's sitting there's no critics score yet because only one review is out, but the audience review score is 21%. So
damn.
Not good.
Because that's such a legendary IP.
Yeah, but Will Ferrell's not even in it. It's Will Ferrell, right, in the original?
I think so.
Yeah. So that sucks. They should have just left it alone.
Yeah. But other than Spaceman, It has a 50% on Tomato Meter, so critics, but an 81% audience score. So I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah, let's see.
We got our first look at Tron Ares.
Boy, we did.
Here, I'll pull it up right here. If you're watching, I'm holding my phone up to the screen. It looks sick as heck.
Yeah, it's insane. I am so excited for this movie, but also trying to dampen my expectations a little bit because of just what the production team is like.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's at the very least, it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and I also think that I'm cautiously hopeful because they're not bringing back any of the cast from Tron or Tron Legacy.
Yeah, we get Greta Lee, who is a national treasure. So
is she
awesome.
in Tron Ares?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
that's
dude.
What that suit is. Who's wearing that suit? Because it kind of looks like a girl suit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, when I saw it for the first time, I thought of Rinsler or Tron, who became Rinsler. But then there's no. True. It's like a triangle on the back. There's no disc. So who knows? We got our first look at David Corenswet in his Superman suit.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this?
It looks sick. That's it. It looks sick. And they renamed it to just Superman.
Yeah.
It's not Superman Legacy anymore, so I'm excited. Superman's not my favorite superhero, so I don't have ties to him. Like Batman was my shit when I was a kid, so my first experience with Superman was seeing Lex Luthor try to drown the entire seacoast, and I thought it was the scariest thing ever because I was 5 years old, and I was like, I'm gonna drown and die. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I love the look of the suit.
I can't wait to see the full thing.
Yeah, I think it looks more like the Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, it's
suit.
not as dark.
And as I've talked about on this pod, I think that's the best representation of Superman. So I'm excited. I think it looks good.
Yeah. Big news. Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis is set to have a major IMAX release.
Hell yeah, dude.
Even though he's made some mid movies. I'm still excited. Very sadly, Richard Lewis passed away. If you don't watch Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Larry David's
best friend. Very sad. That sucks because he was hysterical and just a great character. And so rest in peace.
From a great show.
Amazing show. I just saw this. Joker 2 is widely anticipated to premiere at the Venice Film Festival. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, excited for that.
I don't really have anything else.
I don't know. It's a pretty slow week.
Yeah.
Nothing huge. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill will reunite as Batman and the Joker for one final project. Give it to me. Kevin Conroy is the quintessential Batman, in my opinion, because when I read Batman comics, I don't read them in Christian Bale's voice. I don't read them in Michael Keaton's voice. I read them in Kevin Conroy's voice. I hear Kevin Conroy's voice in my head.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited for that.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
And very sad to watch.
Why?
Because Kevin Conroy's dead.
What? When did Kevin Conroy die?
A while ago.
Oh man, have I been living under a rock?
Yeah. And Mark Hamill said he will refuse to do the Joker now.
Because... He died 2 years ago. Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry to break the news.
Jesus Christ. Batman died. Oh, man. Oh, that's sad. All right.
Yeah, so this is going to be very bittersweet,
Yeah. But should we get into our movies today?
Let's do it. What do you want to start with? Let's start with Inception.
Yeah, and then we can just hardcore glaze Interstellar.
Yeah.
So today we're discussing Christopher Nolan's Two movies that deal with time as a plot device, Inception and Interstellar. So we're going to be discussing Inception first. So let me just get my letterbox pulled up here. I'm using my phone today because I wanted to. But apparently I can't type, so there we go. Inception. This film was released in 2010. It has a stacked cast, just like Also, Interstellar, majorly stacked cast.
Very, very stacked.
But in Inception, we have Leo, of course, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ken Watanabe, who is... Dude, love him. Tom Hardy, Elliot Page, Cillian Murphy, Tom Berenger, Marion Cotillard, Michael Caine. It's pronounced Michael Caine.
Yeah.
The Lamborghini then. Yeah, stacked cast. This movie has a 4.2 overall on Letterboxd. I believe... I don't know what the IMDb rating is. I think it's like an 8.7 or something, which is insane to me.
That's a W.
That's insane. It doesn't make sense. So, for those of you that don't know, Cobb, a skilled thief who commits corporate espionage. Jesus Christ. Corporate espionage by infiltrating the subconscious of his targets, is offered a chance to regain his old life as payment for a task considered to be impossible. Inception, the implantation of another person's idea into a target's subconscious. So yeah, let's give our opening thoughts and then we can discuss why this film is not as good as people say it is.
Speak for yourself there.
Why don't you give us your opening thoughts?
Yeah, this movie bangs. Visually insane. The score electrifying and monumentally peak. Time is one of the greatest songs ever for a film. I like the use of exposition in this film a lot. I think it is effective and organic. The action set pieces are astounding. The hotel sequence is insane. The slow motion scenes with the, like when they're going off the bridge or Leo getting pushed into a tub are just crazy to look at. The performances are great. I know you don't think Leo's very good in this movie. I think he's awesome. One of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performances. Yeah, I can never get tired of this movie. It is so easy to just throw on because it's paced very well. This is a long movie and it flies by. I think that all three of the dream states are sick. The way they toy with Cillian Murphy is so entertaining. Like when they're in the hotel, like we'll talk about it more, but like when Leo's just like, I'm here to help you. It's just such a fun movie. It's crazy. It's just, yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. So
rain on my parade, Trey.
You have this at a 5-star, correct?
This is a very high 5, like one of the easiest 5s ever.
Okay. So this is at the bottom of my Nolan ranking. This is currently sits at number 9.
Crazy.
When I first downloaded Letterboxd, I thought this movie was amazing. I was like, yeah, this is great, but I hadn't seen it in a few years. So I had it at a 4.5, but I didn't have it logged. I just had it rated. And then I rewatched it a few months back, gave it 2 stars. I think the only reason Elliot Page is here is to serve as exposition. Her character has 0 depth. That's literally the only that feels like the only reason she was written into the movie was so she could explain it to people who don't understand. Which, again, this movie is not that hard to understand. It's really not.
It's not that hard to understand, but I think that an important thing in the movie is understanding, like, the intricacies of Cobb's character and how Maul is so... she's just overtaken his life that they need somebody completely fresh to...
No, and I know that, and I know that's like how Nolan decided to do it. I just feel like there's a lot better ways than just writing in a brand new main character. She's like one of the main characters, just to explain something, right? And we see Nolan use different ways of exposition throughout his films. In Memento, he uses the story of, the story of the guy. Yeah. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And that's that's a much more organic way to explain what's happening and why it's happening than it is to just write in a character whose majority of their lines is asking why. I just think that's stupid. I also think this is Leo's worst performance. I don't think he's good in this. He's probably my least favorite part of the movie. I think the story falls flat for me. When I rewatched it, there was very few things that I enjoyed, character-wise. I can acknowledge that this is visually an outstanding film. The hallway scene is an all-timer. And the score, Hans Zimmer truly did cook here. He's so damn good.
And one thing we can both agree on that is perfect is Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
my God, what a treasure.
Let me finish.
Sorry.
And, but yeah, and I rewatched, so I gave it a 2 stars, and then I rewatched it yesterday, and I think I still hate Leo and Elliot's characters, and I think that the good and, like, the charisma, as you're about to say, of Tom Hardy and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and the score and the visuals, and no matter how much I hate on this movie, it has incredible pacing. Truly.
Yeah. Something I want to ask you.
It went up. It's sitting at a 4 right now, and I still feel like that's too high.
It seems high for how you're talking about it right now.
Yeah, it's just the good outweighs the bad, but not enough for it to be higher than a 4.
Right. Something I'm curious about, because you say you don't get much emotional connection from the characters. Did you find yourself invested in Killian's relationship with his dad?
That's the only character I felt myself invested in.
Okay.
I did not give 2 shits when Maul killed herself. I was like, okay, cool. I don't care. I had no emotional investment into any of these characters whatsoever. They all feel very one-dimensional to me.
What about, we're going spoilers here. What about, like, when you find out that, like, Ken Watanabe is shot, and you kind of watch him just slowly die through this movie until you realize, like, yeah, he's going to be trapped in limbo until they find him. Like, that's heartbreaking to me, and he just accepts it because, like, he has to. The mission's got to go on.
Yeah, again, I didn't care.
Really? And the scene when they reunite at the end, like, we can be old men together and then be, whatever the quote is, young men together. Love that scene.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, okay.
Dang.
This movie just doesn't work for me. I'm changing my rating here. We're going to change my rating.
What are you dropping it to?
I don't know, 3.5, maybe a 3. I don't know. It's just not for me. You know?
I get it.
It's or a 2.5. Yeah, it's a 2.5.
Oh my God! Damn.
It's just. It doesn't work for me. There's a lot of stuff about this that doesn't work for me. I find myself bored a lot.
Wow. Bored. Interesting.
Which, by the plot of this movie and what, like, the subject matter is not something someone should be saying after watching it.
No. It's a really cool idea, this whole movie itself. And I think that, number one, it kicks off like a freaking bomb. You have this heist going on, and it's super intense. It's like, we're in a dream. they drop the water and Leo's standing there and it's like peak to look at. And then, they're in the little house or whatever, Ken Watanabe's house, and you realize, oh, they're still dreaming, like, and you realize, dude, the look on your face is so funny. I just think the idea of using dreams and sleeping as a heist film is sick. I mean, I love heist films.
Yeah, and it's a really cool idea. It just didn't feel well executed to me.
Fair enough. I will continue to glaze this movie forever because I love it, and I think it's much more rewatchable than Interstellar.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Interstellar is a mood movie. That shit is heavy. That's a heavy movie.
Yeah, but it's still more rewatchable than Inception.
Oh. I can't throw into Interstellar on. I haven't seen it nearly as many times as I've seen Inception, because I just find that like
I find that even like Following or Insomnia is more rewatchable than Inception.
Insomnia? Oh my god. First half of that movie is a snooze. I don't know.
It doesn't work for me. But there are parts I can appreciate about it. Like I said, the score is unbelievable. Debatably Hans Zimmer's best work. The visuals, the hallway scene, the train coming through the city block is unbelievable. All the action sequences are sick. The action in this movie is extremely well done. The entire third dream, where they're in the snow, and it's just awesome. I love that. Tom Hardy really shines in this movie. Yeah. I feel like we get a different type of... He's usually this darker, brooding type character, but he's very charismatic and light in this movie.
You gotta watch Peaky Blinders, dude.
I have watched Peaky Blinders.
Oh, you have?
He's great. He's great in Peaky
so
Blinders.
Good at Peaky Blinders.
As Saul, whatever his last name is. He's a blast in Peaky Blinders. But he gets overshadowed by Cillian Murphy, who is a god in that movie, or that show. Yeah. But yeah, it really just doesn't hit as much as it does for other people.
That's fair. I'm glad that you can still respect the badass stuff.
Yeah, I totally can. It's like how I feel about Killers of the Flower Moon. I can respect a lot of things about that film. I can respect that it's debatably the most well-made film to come out last year. I think it's definitely debatable. But I think it's in the conversation. It just didn't work for me, So that's why I have it at a 3-star, and that's why I have Inception at a 2.5. I need to add Interstellar to my rankings. Do you have any last thoughts you wanna?
Just that this movie's sick. I love it.
Yeah.
Time is genuinely one of the most insane songs Hans Zimmer or any composer has ever cooked up, and that song brings so much emotion to the scene that it's used in, and we'll talk about score a lot more with Interstellar. Do you like the ending of Inception?
I do, and I know a lot of people don't. I think that people, and we talked about this yesterday, people have debated for a long time whether he is in a dream or he is in a
awake.
Yeah, sorry. I was adding Interstellar to my Nolan rankings. Yeah. So, but Chris Nolan has talked about how, and I totally understand, it makes total sense, how it doesn't matter if he's awake or in a dream, he finally has what he wants, and so he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really interesting idea. So I do enjoy the ending. I think it's a good ending.
Love that.
Yeah.
So this is number 9 on your Or did you drop it?
now that I have Inception on there, or Interstellar on there, it might be number 10.
Have you seen all his movies now, or you haven't seen Dunkirk yet?
I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. Yeah, it's number 10. What are your current rankings of the movies we've done so far? So excluding Oppenheimer and Dunkirk.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Because I can tell you my number. Oppenheimer is my number 1.
Okay. Yeah, same. So right now, I've following, and this is worst to best, following Insomnia, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Memento, The Prestige, Tenet, Inception. Tenet and Inception are tied. They're both peak. I love them both. And then Interstellar, Dark Knight, Oppenheimer.
Okay.
And you will have to wait till next week to see where Dunkirk slots in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm excited to rewatch it. It's going to change.
Here are the 10
sure.
movies we have done so far that I have ranked. So Inception at 10, and then Insomnia, and then Following, and then the next 7 movies are all 5 stars. So it's very difficult for me. And then Tenet is at number 7, The Prestige at number 6, Dark Knight at number 5, Interstellar at number 4, Memento at number 3, Batman Begins at number 2, and The Dark Knight Rises at number 1. So I'm excited to see where Dunkirk goes in there. That'll be my first watch of a Nolan movie in a while, and then I will have completed his filmography.
I'm excited to rewatch Dunkirk. I saw it in 70mm IMAX, and it was insane.
Yeah, anything in 70mm IMAX is going to be
just
insane.
So good. Yeah.
This Sunday, Rocky is playing.
Cool.
At our local theater in 75mm, so I might go see that.
They're actually playing Seventh Seal, which we will be reviewing on Tuesday, I think. Or maybe that's the week after.
No, that's the week after. Tuesday is Big Lebowski and Tokyo Story.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Shut up. Shush. No.
Again, I haven't seen that since I was like 13, so we'll see.
I think it's a very advanced sense of humor that you have to have. It's what I like to say. I think it's hilarious. I think it's so good. John Goodman is excellent in that movie.
They're playing Love Lies Bleeding, the new Kristen Stewart action.
Oh, I want to see that.
They're playing it like a month early next week. I think it's on Sunday or Monday.
Dude, you got to go see it. Give us your spoiler-free thoughts.
It's playing, let's see. It's only playing March 4th. God, Monday at 7 p.m. We'll see. If I'm working Tuesday, probably not.
Yeah. Should we get into Interstellar?
Let's do it.
So, Interstellar, released in 2014. I think it's Christopher Nolan's most logged film on Letterboxd at 3.2 million logs.
Over The Dark Knight?
Dark Knight is third.
Oh.
They're tied for first. Oh, I thought this was just sorted by... What? Oh, wait, no. God, frickin'...
Dark Knight's number 1.
No, Interstellar, Dark Knight, and Inception are all tied at 3.2. Yeah. So, Interstellar, what I believe is the most popular Nolan movie. If you agree with me, thank you. If you don't, screw you. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. I'm on a different planet today. Inception, nope, we just did.
Interstellar.
Dude, I am just, wow.
A little sleepy.
Little sleepy, you could say that. Interstellar, 2014. Debatably Nolan's most stacked cast. You get Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine, Bill Irwin, Ellen Bernstein makes an appearance, Mackenzie Foy, Casey Affleck, John Lithgow, Wes Bentley, David I don't know how to say his last name, Gyasi? I don't know. Matt Damon, Topher Grace, Timmy,
David Oyelowo.
Yeah. Josh Stewart, as the voice of Case. It's stacked cast. It's number 100 on the top Letterboxd top 250. 4.3 overall on Letterboxd. Has an IMDb score of 8.7 with a Metascore of 74, which is a bit odd, but not surprising. This is like, it's peak cinema. I feel like that's the only way to describe it. So, Evan, you want to give us your opening thoughts on the masterpiece that is Interstellar?
Yeah, I have like a special connection to this movie. I rented out an IMAX theater for my 14th birthday and saw this in 70 millimeter with my boys and my dad. And it was a insane experience. Like, the movie opens with Coop
like
flying
the
ship.
Greatest movie theater experience.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I had never experienced IMAX like that, and the volume when the movie opens with Coop flying like shook the entire theater. Is crazy.
Yeah.
And we left the theater and we were just sitting there like, holy shit. Like, what did we just experience? And I actually have somewhere a strip of the 70 millimeter film.
That's sick.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I gotta find it. Yeah, this movie is amazing. It is so emotional, and I think Nolan's character arcs that he has here are great. Yeah. Anne Hathaway's is amazing, and her like struggle with like her quest for humanity yet being in love with I can't remember which scientist it was. Miller, I think.
Wolf Edmonds.
Oh, Edmonds, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an insane film. Visually, it's maybe the best looking movie ever. We'll see. Dune 2 looks pretty good. The score, it's probably my favorite score of all time. It carries so much emotional weight in it, and it makes the movie. Like, I was listening to Shut Up Film Scoop. Again, Cash was saying how this movie would be a different movie. Yeah, it would be a different movie without the score, and he's totally right. Like, the score makes this movie hit as hard as it does. The docking sequence, the cornfield chase, every single moment just hits so hard because the score brings so much tension and like heaviness to it. The performances are great. It's intense. It's got funny moments. It's just like a surreal movie to watch at times. Like, the wormhole is really insane. Yeah, I love it. God, I love it so much. It's so good. How about you?
Yeah. First thing I want to talk about, the docking sequence.
Oh my god.
Where
Matt Damon jump scare.
Where Professor Mann blows up, and it's like, yeah, dude. And it has one of the cheesiest lines in cinema history, but it's so perfectly timed that it feels really badass. Where I think it's Anne Hathaway's character goes, Cooper. He's like, we're gonna like match the RPMs of the and like try to get it while it's spinning, and I think it's Anne Hathaway goes, Cooper, it's impossible. And Matthew McConaughey goes, no, it's necessary. And it's like the dumbest thing ever written, but it works so well. Yeah. And the score in that scene is unbelievable.
Yeah, you're holding your breath that entire scene.
You're like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. It's so funny because Christopher Nolan must have a thing for like people saying one word and then exploding, because it's like the exact same thing as in The Dark Knight before Rachel dies, and it's like Matt Damon's like and then I love how that scene just goes silent the moment that he attempts to open the hatch. It's so good. Yeah,
it really is. And Nolan, I mean, the visuals here, like you said, the shot of them traveling by Saturn, where they're that tiny dot,
God.
and it's just such a beautiful shot. The wormhole, the visuals in the wormhole are, Mom, close your ears for a second. The visuals in the wormhole are orgasmic. I think that's the only way to say it.
It's interesting because you have like 2001: A Space Odyssey with its wormhole scene, and like, how do you pay homage to that while making it unique? And I think Nolan did a very good job, because like, obviously this movie draws connections to 2001: A Space Odyssey. Very different movies, but like, there's certain scenes that are similar, and oh my god, the wormhole scene is insane. And I love the connection where like Anne Hathaway sees that like blip in like the, you know, corner, and it's like all wonky, and you're like, what the hell is that? It's like the first handshake, and then you realize it was Cooper the whole time. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, there's a lot about this movie that doesn't make any sense. Or that's just, it does make sense, but it's hard to understand on first watch. Which is funny. I feel like this is the Nolan movie that's the hardest to understand. Actually, no. Tenet. You can never understand Tenet. Like you said, the more you think about it, the less it makes sense.
Yeah.
But outside of Tenet, I feel like this is the hardest to understand Nolan movie, which is funny because I feel like it has the least amount of exposition.
Yeah, well, it's like very science heavy, and
yeah,
I mean, Nolan was using real astronomers to try and get things right, which is awesome. I love space.
Yeah. Nolan, Christopher Nolan, the Chad.
Yeah. I do think it's funny that you kind of have to just like you spend the entire movie going, yep, science this, science that, and it's like, love fixed everything. And it's a very cheesy ending, but it's awesome.
Like Anne Hathaway's whole monologue about it, like, love is the only thing that transcends both time and space.
Yeah.
And that kind of like sets it up for the ending to actually make sense. So I don't know. I really enjoy this film. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's an easy 5-star.
What's your favorite scene from this?
I mean, it's hard to pick one. The cornfield chase was iconic, and then the docking scene, the wormhole, it's probably like those few. And then I really love the scene when they first get to Miller's planet, and it's just stunning to look at. And they wake him up, and Matt Damon, like, first of all, Matt Damon jump scare. He was not marketed in this movie at all. You had no idea he's in it. Yeah. And he just like grabs Cooper and starts sobbing, and you're like, oh my god, like, can you imagine this dude's been just sitting here waiting, asleep, probably thought he would die in there. Like, there's so much emotion in that scene. I love it, and it's really interesting. You're like, oh my god, like, they might have hope here. And then
again, Miller's Planet, probably one of the most paused moments for did you know for film nerds. That every tick, what is it? Like, every tick is a year back, or like a week back on Earth or something?
It's, a year, week, month, I don't know. One of those.
Yeah. It's like that fact is like right up there with Aragorn kicking the helmet in Lord of the Rings.
Absolutely.
Did you know that Viggo Mortensen actually broke his foot? It's but yeah, the Miller Planet sequence is amazing.
And the videotape scene is insane. Oh my god. It makes me cry every time.
When he comes back, I just sob. It's heartbreaking, dude. And you know, another scene that has never gotten me but got to me this time is when Murph sends out the video telling Brand that her dad died, and then she's like, I just want to know if my dad left me here to die. And I'm just like, Ugh, Christopher Nolan, why do you do this to me?
Yeah, that's pain.
Yeah, it's God, dude. This movie is just excellent. It's excellent.
Do you have Cornfield Chase over time?
1,000%. But that's not those two aren't even in contention for my number one Christopher Nolan song.
What?
Can you hear the music?
Oh yeah, sorry.
True. Come on.
I was thinking Hans Zimmer. Not
my boy Ludwig Göransson cooking up.
Yeah,
the greatest score of all time.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Ludwig just. It worked out so well that Hans Zimmer. Yeah. I said this before, but that he went to go do Dune, and they hire Ludwig to just decimate Tenet and Oppenheimer. Oh my god.
God, dude, he's so good.
And I can't wait to talk about the Dune 2 score. Because, oh my god, it's so fucking good. It's so good.
Is there any last thing you want to talk about with Inception? This is going to be a short episode today.
Yeah.
And also, what a use of Dylan Thomas's poetry. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Do not go gentle into the good night.
Dude, the rage it gives me goosebumps.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Had to yell into the mic for that one.
It's amazing.
It's peak. So if you're still listening with us at this point, which we hope you are, go subscribe, leave us a comment on what you think is better, Inception or Interstellar, and subscribe to our channel. Like this video, please. We want you guys to interact with us. We want to hear your thoughts. Please. Yes. If you're listening, go follow us wherever you're listening. Add us, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Do it. Leave us a review. Did you know we have a 4.9 average rating on Spotify? Out of 16 reviews.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. And I tried entering multiple reviews. You can't. It's one per server. So of course I rated us 5 stars. No, I give us a 4.5. There's some stuff we could work on. Yeah, check us out there. Evan, should we do what we've been watching recently?
We should.
Because we've both been watching a lot of mid and a lot of peak.
Hey, I have not watched any mid lately.
Have you watched any peak?
I watched lots of peak. I have 2 4 stars and 2 5 stars to talk about.
Hey,
shall we talk about the zone of interest? Or do you want to save that for when you get to it?
I'll save that for when I get to
Okay. I'll just mention I watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Crazy movie. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Very convoluted and ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's peak. The action scenes in this movie are nuts. I want to show you one of them, Trey. Oh, it's just badass. It's fun. It's a good time. So I watched that on the 28th, and then...
How many do you have? 4, you said?
I have 4. 3 now.
Okay, I'll do 4 and then... Or I'll do 3 and then you do 1.
Okay.
Since I have a good amount. I've been busting them out, dude.
Yeah.
So, last one was Ratatouille. I decided to dive deeper into the Halloween franchise. Watched Halloween 2. Which I honestly might prefer to the first one. The whole set in the hospital is excellent. Then I watched Zone of Interest finally with Evan.
Shall we?
So after we finished this, I could not give it a rating. I couldn't even talk. Evan like talked at me for like 15 minutes, and then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go to the store. I need to sit on this for a few days." So I watched this on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, and I didn't give it a rating till right before we recorded today. So this is not a horror movie. It is rated PG-13. It is not visually graphic in any way. I think there's almost no blood in this movie.
Yeah.
But
the most graphic scene is when he finds the like skull in the river.
Yeah. This is genuinely the most horrified a movie has ever made me. The constant sound of people being tortured and incinerated in the background of these beautiful shots of the German countryside is horrifying.
Insane.
What's her name? Who plays the
Sandra
wife?
Hüller.
Sandra Hüller is genuinely one of the most terrifying characters I have ever seen in cinema.
Yep.
An evil, evil, evil person. So I've come to the conclusion that this is a 5-star. This is an excellent film. It's a very refreshing take on and showing the Holocaust in cinema. It's something that I don't think has ever been done before. It's excellent. Everything about this is excellent. It's so damn good. So I watched that with Evan.
This was
watch partied it.
Yeah, I'll do some quick thoughts. I've talked about it before, but so I won't drag on. This is my third watch of this movie. I don't know how. Something about this movie draws it to me where I want to keep experiencing it because it's such a unique film. And I don't think much else compares to it, really. Like you said, it's nothing. Nobody's done it like this. It's the best sound design I've ever seen in a movie, and it better win an Oscar for it. Mm-hmm. Because...
Oppenheimer maght take it.
Yeah, we'll see. It's my number one of 2023. I think it's better than Oppenheimer. It's a masterfully made movie. I prefer Oppenheimer, but I think that what Jonathan Glazer did is astounding. This movie, also, the pacing on rewatch is nuts. This movie feels like 45 minutes long. It's an excruciating watch, but you can't look away. It forces you to tune your senses to what you're trying to focus on. It's crazy. The performances are great. Visually, it's stunning. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I was able to write a longer review for it because I find when I see a movie in theaters, I can't write a review for it. We were talking about this yesterday. I can't write a review for it because I'll drive home and it's my thoughts are all sprawling. And same thing happened with Dune 2. Couldn't write a big review for it, but watching it at home, I was able to cook something up, and it's a good way to process your feelings.
And then my third one, I followed it up with Halloween 4, The Return, because I'd already seen Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, or might I call it Season of the Peak.
I want to pull up my Halloween rankings.
And then I watched Halloween 4. Which one is this? Oh, yeah, this is the first one with Jamie.
Yeah.
Who apparently is... I don't know how that happened, but apparently it's Laurie Strode's daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed something, but...
Pretty sure her and Michael have a kid together. No, actually, never mind, because they're related. Never mind.
No, because Michael... It was revealed in Halloween 2 that Michael is Jamie's brother. Or Laurie's brother. Right. So he's Jamie's uncle. So,
I actually like this one.
Yeah, this one was pretty good. Shout out Donald Pleasance. Always being the best part of the Halloween movies. I love him.
Yeah.
If the Halloween if the movie is bad, you can count on Donald Pleasance to be good in it.
Yeah.
He's great. R.I.P. Yeah, that was pretty good. Why don't you give us your next one?
Yeah. My next one this morning, my sleep schedule means that I just wake up early every day no matter what. So I watched Poor Things again.
W.
And yeah, it's perfect. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Emma Stone is gonna decimate the Oscars, or she should, because she's amazing. Yeah, it's perfect. Genuinely perfect. I love it so much. Yeah. All right, back to you. I was pulling up my review for Halloween 5 because I was curious what I wrote about it. And it says it's 2 stars. Jamie's yelling in this movie is louder than the Trinity test explosion.
Yeah, I saw that. Which one is this again? Is this the one?
This is the one with the superpowers, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Is this the one where she, like, consents when Michael's gonna kill someone?
Yeah.
Yeah! Okay. Yeah, this one was actually kind of sick. Some gnarly kills in this one. But other than that, it is pretty lackluster. It was fine. It was mid. You get some boobies in this movie, which is...
What'd you give that one?
A horror staple is having boobs.
Yep.
I give it a 2.5. It was fine. Yeah, it was average. And then after that, I watched... What did I watch? Oh, I watched the Amityville Horror for the first time, which... There's apparently an entire franchise of these movies, which I didn't know. I thought it was just this and then the remake. This one was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. I mean, it's a classic. You got Josh Brolin's dad, James Brolin. Margot Kidder is in this, which is also a W. Love Margot Kidder. Very good. Some good scares. It's just a good time. I think like The Conjuring is also based on this.
Conjuring 2 has a part that's from Amityville Horror.
Yeah, because Ed and Lorraine Warren were like part of the Amityville, like the real Amityville Horror, and so that all has connections, which is cool. I might get into more of those movies, but we will see.
Have you seen any of them?
That's the only one I've seen. I didn't even know there was an entire franchise.
I meant the Conjuring universe.
Oh, I've seen all the Conjuring movies.
Oh, okay.
I think. Because there's the first one, the second one, and then The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah. Have you seen the Annabelle? Awful. Yeah, that movie's boring. I
haven't seen any of the I might have seen the first. I saw the first Annabelle. The first one is with Annabelle Wallis, right?
I don't know.
Yes, I have seen the first.
The second one's really good. The second one is legit good. That's what you said.
Okay, so I have seen the first one. And then after the Amityville Horror, I followed it up with She's All That.
Peak.
It was fine.
Actually, have I seen that one?
3 stars. Matthew Lillard is amazing in this. There's the automatic Matthew Lillard 2-star tax.
I haven't seen this.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Is awful. He's so terrible. He's not a good actor whatsoever. The thing I don't understand here, Rachel Lee Cook. So the whole plot of this movie is he wants to like make Rachel Lee Cook like hot and make her the prom queen. So they give her this whole makeover, but by today's standards, before the makeover, when she was like this nerdy, like the glasses and all that stuff, by today's standard, she's so much hotter when she's like that. It's insane. This movie's insane. It's big time 90s vibe. Every trope is in it. You have the token black friend. You have the douchebags. You have the nerds. You have the dorks. It's very 90s. Paul Walker is insane in this movie. And also beefy as hell.
Do you have this over 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, 1,000%.
That's
10 Things I Hate About You is a 1 star.
Right.
I think. It might be a half star. What do I have 10 Things I Hate About You at? Yeah, I have 10 Things I Hate About You at a 1. Alright, give us your next one.
Yeah, after Poor Things, I watched one of my Real Talk recs, Petite Maman. Great
how
movie.
Was that? That's been
really good.
A while.
Yeah, it's a nice slice of life. It's short. It's like 77 minutes. It's really short.
Yeah.
It's heartfelt and yeah, I really liked it. 4 stars.
Oh, yeah.
I'd recommend it. It's the director's done another movie that I want to see. Yeah, it's like it's a nice quiet movie. Like it's just good. Oh, it's the director that did Portrait of a Lady on Fire. That's
that movie's peak.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's a good time. 72 minutes. Very easy watch. It's on Prime. Well, I watch it on Prime. I think it's on Stars.
Okay. I followed up She's All That with The Old Guard. Netflix movie came out in 2020 with Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, I've seen that poster.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. The story's pretty crappy, but the idea is super cool. Where they're like immortal warriors that make the world better. The action is sick as hell in this movie. Would highly recommend it. I enjoyed it. 4 stars.
I'll check that out.
And also you got Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Harry Melling is in it. So, W's.
I love that.
Yeah. I once saw a tweet that said, if Harry Melling and Anya Taylor-Joy had a kid, then their kid's eyes would be perfectly set apart.
I love Anya Taylor-Joy.
With Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Holy cow, what an awful movie.
So stinky. Oh
it was genuinely terrible. This is the one where Michael Myers has sex with Jamie, who is his niece, and she has a kid that somehow didn't come out insanely messed up. It's
I love your review for this.
Wild ass movie.
Dude, we gotta binge.
Movie.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
What was my review for this?
It just says no.
Oh yeah, just awful. And then I followed that. I woke up the next morning and decided to watch my first ever James Bond film.
Oh my god!
I watched Casino Royale. Holy peak! So good. Daniel Craig, man, what a guy. The end of the final scene of the movie, where he catches the guy and he's like, the name's Bond. James Bond. It's just, and it's like,
I can't believe that's your first James Bond movie, dude. We got some stuff to. I've seen all the James Bond movies. I own them all.
Who's your favorite?
I have a strong love for Pierce Brosnan because those were the first ones I saw. He's not the best. I love Sean Connery. I don't like Roger Moore. I've had this debate with my brother.
Wasn't Roger Moore the original?
No, Sean Connery is the original.
Oh, okay.
Roger Moore was the second or third. Second, I think. I don't like him. I do like Moonraker though. That movie is freaking wild. We have to do some James Bond watches. I got to show you Goldfinger, one of the best action movies ever. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, give us your last one.
That's it. I'm done.
You're done?
I'm all done. Gosh. Keep going.
And then last night I watched VHS Viral, which is the third movie in the VHS franchise. First one was okay. Second one was pretty peak. And then this one was pretty terrible. But I'm probably going to watch the rest because I enjoyed them so much. I like that anthology idea.
Yeah, me too. How many are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god.
And there's a 7th one coming out. Yeah, this one was awful. None of the my review was, I guess Beau is Afraid is not the only movie with dick monsters.
That's awesome.
Do you remember, have you seen this one, VHS 3?
No.
Oh, well this one, there's one of them is like this guy, he builds like a door to another dimension, and he opens it, and then on the other side is himself, and in these both dimensions, he was building that door, and so they switch worlds for a sec, and he goes into this other guy's world, and everybody has this, like, their genitalia is, like, these monsters, and so when these guys take off their pants, it's like this, like, it looks like the end of a sandworm instead of a penis, and they, like, eat people's faces, and then the women, it's, like, this kind of giant mouth that looks like what's the thing that eats Boba Fett or in Star Wars?
Sarlacc pit.
It looks like the opening of a Sarlacc pit. It just kind of opens and just.
Dude, I
was like, what the hell am I watching?
That's crazy.
And And then there was like a demon one that was pretty. These skateboarders go down to Tijuana and they're like skating in this like little pipe thing, but it's actually the site of like a cult death ritual, and they have to beat up all these cultists. That one was pretty cool. It was awful. I don't know. And the first one was about this guy with this magic cape that eats people, and that
nice.
All of them felt like adult Goosebumps stories. It was just lame. So yeah, that's what I watched. Join us Tuesday. We're reviewing Tokyo Story and The Big Lebowski.
I don't know anything about Tokyo Story.
Yeah, me neither. I'm going in blind.
1953. Oh shoot.
Yeah. Next Friday or next Wednesday we will be doing our Oscars episode.
Yeah.
Next Friday will be Oppenheimer and Dunkirk. And then the Tuesday after that is Seventh Seal and Room.
Holy peak.
All right, we'll see you next time.